This might be a bit more of a personal question, and always you can opt out of any questions, as with all our conversations at the fellowship. But I'm curious if you've had experiences where you encountered discrimination, racial profiling, or any forms of those types of behaviors directed towards you for no apparent reason by the police, if that's ever happened. And if you're open to sharing a little bit about that.
I like went first the last time, so I'm trying to see if anybody else will go first.
And it's really optional. I know this wasn't part of our sort of initial questions, but I know a lot of fellows do have stories.
Well, me personally, I could say that I was like very privileged in the sense not to have to go through that experience firsthand. But I remember like after school one time, me and my friends, we came back from we were going bowling one day, and we came back from a game. We were walking back to the bus stop, and one of my friends, he stopped inside the closest store. He stopped inside the closest store and the nearest to get a drink and something like that. And when he came, we were waiting for him outside like for like a good like 5-7 minutes, and then later he came out the store saying like not really the police following him, but he felt like the clerk of the store was pretty much, he came as soon as, mind you, all my friends in the group were black, were darker skinned, like at least my skin tone. And when he came out the store, he was like, the owner of the store, he was following me around. He was thinking I was gonna steal something. He was gonna think I was gonna take the. I just came to get the soda, and I saw him behind me. And when I came up to the when I came up to the desk, he was following me right back. So basically, it was like we always have to deal with racial discrimination for like the littlest things, like because we're seen as like criminals, thugs, all of the above you can call us, and it's just like it's like we can never get a break. We always have to have those antennas up, and we can never just like for African Americans, we can never just be kids. We can never just be like people. We always gotta have those antennas up, even when it's for the littlest things. So it's very heartbreaking, but it's also the unfortunate reality we have to deal with.
Does it become exhausting?
At this point, to have to talk about it, to always have to repeat it to people, and not just repeat the people who go through the same things, but people who have the privilege to never have to deal with it, but they say they understand, but at the end of the day, they never will, because this is life that as African Americans we have to deal with on the day-to-day basis until the hopeful one day that the system is going to change and the implements will happen. It's just like we always have to have antennas up for everything that we do, for the littlest things.
Yeah, it certainly sounds exhausting. Any other experiences around racial profiling?
So my experience was a little different, and it was a little like out of body, you know. All my life I didn't take pride in it, but I was very cautious and proud that I never had to deal with, you know, being singled out because I was black, or, you know, being handcuffed or being stopped in the store. Like literally all up until high school, till I graduated high school, I was just thankful that I didn't have that opportunity. And not only was I thankful, but behind closed door, I was a little ashamed, because I didn't never want to tell my friends like, yeah, I've never experienced that. I'm sorry. You know, I've never
Yeah.
experienced that. I'm sorry. So I was always like, damn, like, excuse my French. I was always like, dang, like, I can't tell them I don't know what they're going through, but I also can't tell them like, I understand because I'm one of you, you know? So I graduated high school. It was my first year in college. Before I got my culinary degree and I started going down the path of cooking, I got a full ride to, it was HBCU in Birmingham, Alabama. It was like the first or second week that I was in Alabama, and I met a fair-skinned Hispanic friend. She was beautiful, long blonde hair, but she was Hispanic, but she was more on the fair side. We were coming from a college party. It was me and her. She was a little under the influence. I was in the passenger seat, not driving. Um, I shouldn't have been in the car with her at all, but I needed to get back to my dorm. So it was just, I was put in one of those situations. We were driving and we got stopped by the police. It was a white cop and a black cop. They asked me to step out of the car. They made me spread my legs wide and put my hands on top. And I assumed that my female friend was going to have to do the exact same thing. I thought they was going to give her the breathalyzer. I thought they was going to check her seat to see if she had any drugs or alcohol on her. They did not touch her. They barely spoke to her. Even when they did speak to her, they walked me to their car just to ask her, like, are you okay? Do you know him? Where are you guys going? And like she told me what they were asking. Where are you guys going? Do you want to drive him? Is he under the influence? Does he have any drugs? Do you know where he's from? Because they didn't believe my information that I was giving them. I was living in a really nice dorm because of the scholarship I got for the music program I was in. I had a really, really, really nice apartment dorm. It was on the more expensive side, but because of my intelligence and my talents, I didn't have to pay for it. And he did not believe that I lived in the exact same area that she did. And when I found out that they didn't give her a breathalyzer, they didn't check her purse, they didn't even ask her to step out of the car, all I could do was cry. Like, I was like, okay, I can't be down here. I cannot be in Alabama. I don't know what's going on. Not only was she a little drunk, but she had drugs in her purse. I found out after the case because she was laughing about the situation, but she didn't have a license. Like, and I had a fine. Like, I had a fine for driving around because I had a drink or two, and they could smell the alcohol in my breath, and they fined me $175. She didn't get a fine. She didn't get a ticket. Her license wasn't pulled. Her license plate wasn't, like, nothing happened. Like, she basically wasn't there. She was a ghost in the situation. And I feel like if they even knew that she was Hispanic or if they knew that she was Black, it would have been a totally different story. But like I said, she was beautiful. She was fair-skinned. She was well put together. Her hair was a lighter blonde complexion. Like, and I was confused when I got back in the car because I was like, oh my God, like, what just happened? Like, am I going to get in trouble? Like, is my mama going to be able to see this bill? Like, that was the first thought. Like, is my mama going to get this bill? She was like, no, this has happened before. Like, all you got to do is pay it off. You can get a payment plan through the school, da 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 da. And I was like, do you got one too? She was like, he didn't even check my ID. He didn't even ask for my license. I was like, where is your license? She was like, I don't have a license. I got my permit. I was like, so that was the last time I talked to her, last time I saw her. She didn't defend me. She didn't say, like, she didn't take any responsibility for anything at all. Like, she didn't even offer to help me with the ticket and stuff, After that, I moved back home. I enrolled into a different college because I was afraid. Like, that scared me, Like, I couldn't even talk to the men properly because I was afraid that if I said the wrong thing, I was going to be in jail all the way in Birmingham, Alabama. I don't have an inch of family there, and I'm the worst at remembering numbers. Like, I don't know what jail is, So all I thought was that they was going to give me an orange jumper. I was going to have to call my mom. Like, it was just a big, like, out of body experience. So I went home. I finished that year of college, and I never went out partying again. I never was in a car with anybody that had any alcohol or anything again. And, when you're a freshman in college, partying is like, come on,
The
man.
norm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's when there's no parents in the room asking what's going on. You don't got to talk to your mama for like a day or two.
It is what it is.
Exactly. You come from a big family like mine. I never had like a lot of freedom because my mom always wanted us to be okay. I was the first person ever in my family to leave the state to do anything, really. So, like, I was just scared. I thought that I came here to have fun and learn. But now, like, the fun is off the table because anywhere I go, I'm going to be the person that they put in the back of their car, So I never went out drinking again. Like, I just had a depressing freshman year only because of that one incident, So
I think what's so powerful about what you both shared is that one incident like that can alter the course of your life.
Yes.
You made decisions that change your life forever based on one night, maybe, I don't know, a few minutes of an interaction drastically altered your future. And so I think perhaps people don't think about the impacts, and how over the long term, repeatedly being exposed to those scenes can really do a number on you.